We are live. Hopefully, we are live. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay if I don't choke to death. Uh, can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello, Internet. We got Sluggo in the house. Sluggo, can you hear me? Sluggo, tell me about the audio. Tell me about the video. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Mic check. Mic check. One, two, three. Mic check. And Sluggo says we're good to go here. Hopefully that's the case. Justin Jets is here. He says, I hear and see you. All right. Good. Maybe everything's working. We're doing another test of Restream tonight to see how it performs. Uh, Probably going to try and use it for the Sunday show if all goes well today. We're going to try a few things today. We're going to try overlaying the comments, like so forth and so on. See how that looks. See if people like that better. But also, something else happened uh, in the uh, in the world of the NFL today. Loud and clear. Over. All right. All right. Good. I guess we're working. Um, so that's good. But something else happened is that the NFL released NFL Pro, uh, which is very, very interesting. It's very interesting to me because some of you may remember a couple of years ago when I was doing a show with Green Bean, I was telling him that I was doing uh, a beta test. I was part of a beta test of something called NFL Pro, and he had no idea what I was talking about. He was like, "What? What? What? I have no idea what you're talking about." Well, the NFL was doing a test of this thing, this product, and I'm going to show you what it is here in a second. Hopefully, if the technology works, hopefully. And so I participated in this demo. A lot of people participated in the beta. You know, it wasn't just me. Lots of people did. They wanted feedback. They wanted to know how we would use it, et cetera, et cetera. They were collecting, user feedback on this beta project that they had. Well, lo and behold, today they released it. It's now out here in the public. And I got to tell you, it's as awesome as I remember it because I remember it being awesome in the beta mode. And I'm sure they fixed up a few tweaks and made it a little better than it was in beta mode. But now it's available. And here it is. So that's very exciting. Now, you may be asking yourself, what exactly is it? Oh, Slogo says, "Is this the face recognition thing in Vegas with Raiders?" I don't know what that is, Sluggo. But no, this is not it. That's not it. That's not it, Sluggo. No, no, no. This is something that's awesome. I don't know anything about facial recognition in Las Vegas with the Raider. I have no idea what's going on with that. But what I do know is that the NFL has put out a product now that combines the all 22 film plus amazing filtering techniques, which we'll show here in a second, and advanced, very advanced statistics. So it combines everything that you could want if you're an NFL nerd. That's perfect for me. So we're going to see how this works here. Let me see if I can figure out the best way to do this. Let's hide the old chats and see what's the best way. We are in Restream, which is a new interface, so I'm still playing around with that. This right here says demonstration. Let's see what happens if I play with this. The logo says, check it out. Vegas cops and security are up in arms. All right, and I'll check it out, Sluggo. I have no idea what's going on out there, but this has nothing to do with that. Let's see. Should I click this? Uh, Maybe not. Maybe I have to click this. Uh, let's see what this does. Let's go allow. You are not sharing. Okay. So let's see if you can see this. Let me know if you can see this okay. Um, but this is essentially the product here that they're putting out. You got to have NFL Plus. You might have to have eventually, there's NFL.com, then there's NFL Plus, then there's also NFL Plus Premium. So it might be that you got to get NFL Plus Premium eventually to get access to this. Um, but what you can see here, so right now we're looking at the all 22 footage part of it, and you can see here, this is the first game of the year, Jets and or actually the last game of the year, Jets Patriots, last game of last year. So what's interesting is that you can create essentially cut ups. So you can watch the game. So like here's all the plays. Like we could scroll through here and say, oh, I want to see this 8-yard gain by Brees Hall. So it should forward, yeah. So it forwards over to that, and here's that, and you can watch it from the all 22, and this is pretty much what all 22 looks like. We got what's his name at quarterback, Simeon. All right, 12 personnel. There goes Brees around the right side. There he goes, 8-yard gain. Bada bing, bada boom, tackled. There we go. Now it should give us. Oh, it doesn't actually. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's the behind angle, man in motion. That would be Conklin. And I think this is Yaboa. So you got Yaboa, Conklin. Mekhi Becton over here, by the way. Mekhi Becton looks like he's going to win the right guard job for the Philadelphia Eagles, interestingly. And here goes old Breesy. There he goes off to the races. Nice gainer. So this is sort of the normal way that you get your all 22 footage. All right. Well, what's so great about that? I can get that any day of the week. Well, what's different is over here. So you can use this over here to create cut ups. So if you wanted to see all the plays in the second quarter, for example. Yeah. So Sluggo says, can you, oops, sorry about that. Frankie, can you isolate a specific? Yeah, that's where I'm getting to, Sluggo. So you can do it by quarter, for example. You could say all the first down or by down. You want to see all the first down plays. Okay, you click that. Now here's all the first down plays. Yards to go situations. You want to see all the short yardage, mid yardage, long yardage. Uh, Score differential when the Jets are leading, when they're trailing, when they're tied. You could pull up all that. Then they got play result. You could see all the touchdowns, all the fumbles, all the fumble lost, all of the passing attempts, all the passing completions, all the interceptions. Let's say you wanted to just look at interceptions only. Why did we have so many interceptions? Well, like when we had Zach Wilson, that would be that would be something you'd want to pull up. Rushing outcomes, 10 plus rush yards. Receiving outcomes, you want to see every reception. Defensive outcomes, every sack. So let's go through and see pre-snap. You got quarterback alignments, shotgun, under center, pistol. So you want to see all the shotguns where we had motion. Okay, here's a cut up, and it comes up automatically. I mean, this is amazing. This is how NFL teams make cut ups. You hear coaches talk about cut ups all the time. Um, this is kind of how they do it, and now we can do it. With a click of a button. It's pretty amazing. Let's see what else we could do. Passing, target location. So this has outside the numbers, down the seams, between the hashes. You could sort it by that, but then you can also sort by short, intermediate, deep. quick, long, pressure, no pressure, blitz, no blitz, rushing, inside the tackles, outside the tackles, run stuff, no run stuff, receiving. You can pick a targeted receiver. So let's see, like we could pick old Garrett, not Garrett Selich, Garrett Wilson. There he goes. We could say, give me all the Garrett Wilson receptions that we got. Well, let's look at defense so we can see what they got down here, Sluggo. Oops. Defense personnel. So dime, nickel, and base. That's pretty much all you need. Defenders in the box, coverage type, all. Hmm. So I don't know. I guess maybe you can't isolate defensive players yet, uh, unless I'm missing it. What if I put in, let's say, Will McDonald? Does he come up? Hmm, doesn't look like it. No, I guess not, Sluggo. Well, coaches already have it. This is the thing, Sluggo. Coaches already have this. But the revolutionary thing is now the fans are going to have this. Everybody's going to have it. Who wants it? You know. I'm curious to see this during the season with Brees. What side do you think his big runs will come from? Oh, here's what I think, Sluggo. You run behind AVT. That's where you run. We already know. So PFF already keeps like do you run where they run? And if you remember, well, one of the things I used to do in my PFF analyses in the previous versions of the Frankie show was they you could see if he ran in the B gap or C gap or and it was always wherever AVT was, that's where we had the biggest gains. Always. You run behind AVT, that's where you run. That's what as it in general. But this year we should have a good offensive line, God willing. And if so, I mean Tyron Smith, if he's out there, is one of the best in the business, Sluggo. That dude is amazing. And John Simpson's good. Yeah, but John Simpson's a beast in the run game. So, I mean, we can run anywhere we want, Sluggo. And Morgan Moses is no slouch either. So yeah, but in the past it's been AVT. Run behind AVT. That's how you do it. But I guess so far they don't have any defensive isolation. But again, this is the first version. So here I can pull up Garrett Wilson, and in this game, I guess he only had about 4 catches. So we could watch all the Garrett Wilson catches if we wanted to. And this is in the snow, so it doesn't look as good as normal. But this was a snow game. There's Simeon trying to get it to Wilson. Look at that. What kind of quarterbacking is that? What is that? Simeon, throw the ball, man. What kind of a pass is this? He's got a nice pocket. Throw the damn buzz a touchdown. Throw the ball. And this is what Garrett Wilson has had to put up with while he's been here. Christ's sake. You see that throw? Oh, look at this. You can barely even see it. Holy smokes. Come on, Simeon, throw the ball. Hey, there we go. He got one. This one he got right. Man, remember this game? This was such a weird game. Nobody cared about this game at all, except for Jet fans, Patriot fans. At least we got him a couple. Christ sakes. Only had 4 targets the whole game. Oh man, he was wide open. Ugh, this quarterback play. But anyway, this is what coaches have, and now all the fans have it. All in one place. And this is just the film part. God's sakes. Comedy of errors. Now, the other part of this that's exciting, of course, is the statistics. So the idea here is we're going to combine all of the advanced statistics and the normal statistics. and have all 22 footage all in one place. So if you look at this, here we start out on passing leaders. So it's sorted on yards, which is, kind of a normie stat. And Tua Tango Vailoa led the league in yards, 4,624. This would be by far the best year any Jet quarterback has ever had. So for the Tua haters out there, also had 29 touchdowns, which would be the second best, I think, in Jet history. This is probably a little small for you guys, but you can see here that it's not only the normie stats. You can sort by that stuff. Who led the league in passing attempts? Okay, let's find out. It was Sam Howell at 612. You wouldn't have guessed that. Who had the most completions? Dak Prescott. Who led the league in touchdowns? Dak Prescott. Who had the highest passer rating? Brock Purdy. That's our week one opponent. So it has all the sort of no, normie stats, but then it has some of the advanced stats like completion percentage over expected, CPOE, completion percentage over expected. These guys make more difficult throws than other guys. And Prescott's number one last year. Then Cousins, Hurts, Carr, Jake Browning, surprisingly, Brock Purdy, Geno Smith, old friend, Josh Allen, Lamar. You know, our guys are not. Christ, look at Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson negative 1.5%. That means he made 1.5% fewer completions than he should have. He he was negative. But I mean, there's some good quarterbacks down here. I guess you could say Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford. Ooh, look at Will Levis. That's not too encouraging. But and then it also has EPA. So Purdy led in EPA, expected points added, which is probably the most advanced stat. Well, the most advanced one that's in general usage, I would say. Harlan is here. Harlan, you missed the beginning, Harlan. I don't know what to tell you, but you missed the beginning. And in the beginning, we explained what we're doing here. We're in the new NFL Pro product that was released today, Harlan. They released it today. And it caught my eye because I was part of the beta for this. They a couple of years ago, they put out something saying, "Hey, if you're somebody who's interested in participating in a beta trial of a new product we're putting out," the NFL said, "feel free to apply." So I applied, I got in, used it, helped them develop it, and here it is. So they did it with my help. I helped. I helped. I definitely helped. Article 15. Well, let's not be so hasty, Sluggo. We gotta have a little grace on our fellow Frankie's Army members. But that's what we're doing, Harlan. So, yep, I helped develop this. Not that I did a lot, but I did help. I did help, as did many other people, of course. So that's what we're doing, and we were looking at some film before Harlan, and now we're up to the stats part. Yeah, this is the latest thing out there, Harlan. This is from the NFL, and this is a big deal. This is a big deal, Harlan, uh, because the most important. This is just the stats. We'll go back to the film in a second, but we're doing the stats, and they're putting all of the. We're putting all of the what the NFL is doing is they're putting all the advanced stats and all of the all 22 footage and everything in one place that everybody can access. You don't need any special, you don't have to be anybody special. You just got to pay them money and you can get access. So here we are. So you might want to ask yourself, who led the league in expected points added last year? Well, it was Brock Purdy. And some people would say that this is the best measure of effectiveness. So maybe Brock Purdy was the best quarterback in all of the NFL last year. And after all, he did throw for 4,280 yards, which again would be the greatest season, I think, in Jet history. I know we've had one 4,000 yard season by Namath, but I don't know exactly how many yards he had, but I think it was less than this because I think he just cleared it, if I remember. Now, so another advanced stat that you might want to look at is TTT. TTT is time to throw. This is a bad statistic. And you notice here's all Zacky Poo. Be good if you could kind of like highlight. I wonder. Ah, here's a so Zach's eighth in the league in something. Hey, but this is time to throw. This is not a good stat. This is a bad stat. You want this to be a low number, not a high number. These are the people who run around too much. Now, interestingly, here's old CJ Stroud. So if you were a detractor, which Stroud doesn't have many, but if you were, you might say, that's a little high on CJ. Is he going to always be able to produce at this level? CJ threw for 4,100 yards. Is he always going to be able to produce at that level with this number? Because he took more time to throw than people like Zach Wilson and Josh Dobbs. Now, on the other hand, look who else is up here. Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, okay, and good quarterbacks. So I guess it's not a perfect indicator, but something to watch. You generally want a 2.5 or less if you can, generally speaking. Now, obviously, if you're Patrick Mahomes, you're not worried about it too much. On the other hand, he did throw 14 picks last year, and it was regarded as one of his worst seasons, even though for, a bad season for him is a great season for us. But it's all relative, right? But he did throw 14 picks. So for him, maybe not his best season. A 92 rating for him is not good for him. It's good for anybody else. But and then you have bad quarterbacks up here like Wilson and Young, or quarterbacks who performed poorly last year, let's say Dobbs. So it's kind of interesting, right? These are the type of things that you don't get in the normal stat package. Who led the league in? How do I get rid of this thing? Probably yeah. Who led the league in sacks? Sacked the most times, 65. Sam Howell. Wow. Craig is here. EC, what's up, EC? EC, since you're late, when you're late, you miss things. The Jets have three rules, EC. You know what the first rule is? You know what the first rule the Jets have is? It's be early. So if you're late, that's no good because you're not early. But anyway, you missed the beginning, EC, where we went over why we're here, what we're doing, what's going on. This is a brand new product that Frankie is showing you. A brand new product that the NFL has just come out with today. Today. Hoy. Ahora. This logo says Namath just over 4,004. That's what I thought. Okay. Well, thanks for confirming. I thought that. So all these people who throw for more than 4,000, they're probably going to beat us. Like even Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has done better than our greatest season of all time. Now, there wasn't 14 games, so you got to give Namath that. Namath did it in 14 games, so that's a little different, but still. Um, so anyway, what we're doing, Eric, is we're looking at a brand new product that the NFL has just come out with today, and I was a part of the beta. So I gave them feedback on this product a couple of years ago, and then I promptly forgot all about it and said, "Oh, I wonder what's going to happen with that product that the NFL asked me to work on," which I did for free. Uh, And so when I say work on, I mean use it and give them feedback. They wanted user feedback. And so then today they came out with it. Now here it is. That's what we're doing. We're reviewing this product. Yeah, well, you should, but don't worry, EC, because we'll go back to the other part. So this part is the stats. The other part is the film. So we'll get back to it also because this is just such an amazing product that I think people are going to really have their eyes open. So sacks, Zach Wilson, 46, not good, not good. And now the not good people are up here with the sacks, at least the first five. Baker's also up here. So, but there are some good quarterbacks up here. Stroud took a bunch of sacks. Prescott, Lamar, even with as quick as he is, and Hurts. So let's see. This is stats per game. See, now this is interesting. See, the NFL needs to do this more often, or better, I should say. Like, it's much more interesting to me to know how many yards per game did you throw. For example, Cousins led the league, but he only played in 8 games because he got injured. So he's not going to have the yards, the straight up yards. Can you please put below the site? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. It's very simple. It's dot NFL.com. There you go. So that should hopefully appear. And you do have to have an NFL, I think it's plus account to get in. You do have to give them money. So it's not, they're not putting all this amazing stuff out for free. You're going to have to pay them. But it's really kind of worth it when you think about it. When you think about it, especially as the season goes on. This is all like last year, but imagine looking at this as the season goes on. You know what I mean? Now, here's the stats per game, touchdowns per game. So this is interesting. It breaks it down for you per game. And if you look at this, Kirk Cousins is looking a lot better than you know than maybe you would think. Led the league in yards per game. Led the league in touchdowns per game. Only had zero point 0.6 interceptions per game. All this other stuff is going to be the same, but it's kind of interesting. Of course, guy is Kenny Pickett. Zach, look at all these bad quarterbacks. We, well, I will say though, it's interesting. Kenny Pickett, if you guys, I don't know if you guys saw the game last night. Kenny Pickett looked terrible. His stats came out okay at the end of the day, but if you watch the game, he looked terrible. Zach Wilson, on the other hand, came in. Now he was playing against third stringers, but still, he looked a lot better for Denver when he did come in. So it's interesting. And Will Levis he's the starter for Tennessee. Um, Mac Jones is a backup, Dobbs backup, Ritter backup. Young is a starter for Carolina. But of course, they've blamed everything on everything else except for Bryce Young. So they're hoping, he's going to do better. And it's year 2 for him. So he's allowed to have a terrible rookie year like everybody else. Now, let's see what else they got. NGS Advanced Metric. What is this? So this is interesting. EPA per dropback, Purdy. So I don't know. There's a lot of people who are not convinced about Brock Purdy. You look at any of his advanced stats or anything, this guy's like the top of the league, like number 1 or 2. He's way up there. It's hard for me to criticize a guy when he leads the whole league in EPA per dropback. With Dak Prescott, Tua, Josh, look at all these people. These are all the good ones. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson cost us money every time he dropped back. Uh, yeah, yeah. EC says his name's Pickett. Not a good name for a quarterback. Baby hands Pickett. Yeah. I mean, you might as well name your quarterback baby hands interception, like, yeah. But he was a first rounder. So, attempts, air yards per attempt, Will Levis. Huh. Interesting. Purdy still in the top 10. This tells you, obviously, if he's throwing downfield or not, if he's just dinking and dunking. Deep percentage, deep pass percentage, Levis. Levis was airing it out. Fields, Wilson, Love. Our guy, 20th in the league. Mr. Rate, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. No bueno. Blitz percentage, uh, play action percent. How often did they do play action? Interesting. Kirk Cousins, number one. This is sort of a mix of good and bad quarterbacks. Target separation. So I guess this is how much separation their receivers got. Target separation. That's interesting. This doesn't seem to make sense. How could Russell Wilson be high on this list? He didn't have great wide receivers as far as separation is concerned. Then you have Mahomes. Fields, that must not be what that is. Right window percent. Interesting. So a lot of advanced metrics. Let's look at. So this is passing leaders. We can go to. Let's look at something we did well. Team defense. Yards per game. Hey, we're up there. Third least. That's good. That's good. Points per game. Clear this. Should be the other line. Wow. This is kind of amazing. We only allowed 20.9 points per game, and we were 12th in the league. That's kind of amazing. Baltimore allowed 16 and a half points per game. That is, I mean, I think the league has had a downward trend in terms of points. Uh, but that's an area we could improve right there on defense. Commanders allowed 30 points a game. 30 points a game, 30 and a half. God's sakes. Uh, Dolphins, that's something you got to worry about if you're a Dolphins fan. The Patriots, 21 and a half. At least we did better than them. Interestingly, the 49ers, the Texans, and the Jets all run the exact same system. The Bucks run a similar system, but more blitz happy. Bucks only 19 points a game. EPA per pass. So this negative should be better. Yeah, we were third in the league. See, like this is a stat that really should be more of a metric. EPA per pass. And lower is better. So we allowed the third lowest passing efficiency in the whole league. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Harlan says Brock Purdy was a good quarterback in college. Why he lasted so long in the draft, I don't know. Well, he's undersized. He doesn't have any outstanding traits. Everybody loves traits, Harlan. He doesn't have any of that, but he got it up here. That's what it is. You can't see that. You can't see the man's brain. Uh, and that's probably the most important thing for a quarterback. Pass defense. So you have all of this sort of like advanced stuff now in an NFL deal. And it gives you some explainers. They call them stat starters here. EPA per play allowed. Expected points added quantifies the value of yards gained in terms of points scored. EPA per play allowed measures the average value added by the defense with negative values indicating better defense performance. So even that is not a great explanation of EPA per play. I'll give you a better explanation. A better explanation is if you have third down and 10 and you run a running play up the middle and you gain 4 yards, is that a good play? Third and 10, you run a running play, it gets 4 yards. Is that a good play? You're in the middle of the field, it's the second quarter, you're going to have to punt now. That's not a good play, right? Third and 10, you run a running play up the middle, you gain 4 yards. That's not a good play. That's a negative because you didn't get the line to gain and now you have to punt, right? But now, let's say you run the same exact play and you get the same exact result. You run the same exact play, a run up the middle, and you get the same exact result, 4 yards. But this time it's third down and 2. Is that a good play? Yeah, that's a great play because we picked up the first down. Even though it was the same exact play with the same exact result. And so EPA is a way to say the second play is way more valuable than the first play. That's how they should explain it. So that's what I think anyway. But they give you these little explainers here. They give you these little explainers here. So that's pretty good. Let's see what they have for receiving. Let's see if we can if we can make the case for old Garrett. Receiving EPA? Nah, it's not even there. What about per game? What about some advanced? What about some advanced stuff? EPA per target. Huh. EPA per target. Khalil Shakir comes out number one. Hmm. Maybe Buffalo is, but the Buffalo fans have something with their love of Khalil Shakir. Well, the second one was a first down slug up. Second one was a first down. So this is interesting. EPA per target. Well, this target doesn't help Garrett because we had a bad quarterback. So we had him throwing it over his head and whatnot. That doesn't help him. Um, Tight window percent, deep target rate. Oh, let's see. Average separation. Chuba Hubbard. What? This shouldn't include. See if we could filter this. Filter by team, receiving splits. Oh, you should be able to filter this by position. We generally don't want to see running backs in average separation. That's totally different for them than it is for wide receivers. That's weird. Brees Hall, 30th. Um, it's strange. All right. Well, you can see they have all of these advanced stats. They have passing, rushing, defense, team offense, team defense. Uh, let's go back to the film room for some of the folks who missed that part of the presentation. Um, if we go here, let's just pick the Jets and the Patriots. So we have all those advanced stats. We have all that stuff. You notice they do not have DVOA. That's not an official stat yet. They should really make that an official stat. Um, but so so you can do what you can do is you can look at a game the same way. This is the all 22 footage. And you can look at a game the same way you always could for all 22. You can bring up these are all the every single play that happened in the game. So you can bring up, any one of these plays and it'll bring it up. show. So if you want to see 11-yard gain by Brees Hall, you pick it up, it does its thing, and then it brings it up. And you could see Brees running for 11 yards. There it goes, first down. Attaboy Brees in the snow. And again from the angle, own blocking, I believe. There it is. So that's the normal way. But what's cool about this part, in addition to just having it all in one place, is these filters. So I put in the Jets. You can then filter on what it is that you want. You can filter on play situation. So let's say we wanted all the red zone plays. Well, pulls it up. Here's all your red zone plays. And interestingly, yeah. So now here there were six. So it brings up these six plays. You know exactly which ones they were. And then it'll start playing them up here. So you want to do an analysis of the Jets' red zone efficiency? Very simple. That's not very good. That's not very good. It wasn't a good one. Reese should have taken that to the outside. But you want to look at all the goal to go plays, and there were four of those. One where it's complete a pass, but it doesn't go into the end zone. So that's no good. But if you want to see all the pass plays in the entire game, well, brings it right up for you. So basically, this thing creates cut ups for you in 1 second. So here's all the passing plays. Sacks. I do analysis of the sacks. Got one sack in this game. So forth and so on. You can break it down by quarter, down. You want to do analysis of all the third downs, you can do that. Yards to go situations, score differentials. You can look at play results, all the touchdowns, fumbles, etc., passing outcomes, rushing outcomes, so forth and so on. You could look at it by pre-snap alignments. Look at all the shotgun, under center, pistol, you name it. They got it. And then you can say, I want all the motions. So we can do an analysis of that. And so basically, what they've done here is they've given you coaches' tape and an ability to do cut ups of the coaches' tape that was previously very difficult to do. This is going to be a big thing, as I predicted. As I predicted when I used it. Nobody wanted to listen to old Frankie. Nobody wanted to listen to old Frankie back in the day when I used this in the beta and said, this is going to be big. Nobody knew what I was talking about. And you can also figure out, like we want to see every Brees Hall play, rushing wise. Okay, great. Now you have a cut up of every time Brees Hall touched the ball here for rushing. So all these attempts, he rushed a lot in this game. Oh, 6 yards, 12 yards. You name it. You name it. This is 12 personnel. There he goes. So it's very interesting because it just gives you all of these amazing cut ups that now anybody can do who gives them money. There you go. Let's do them. Stop screen sharing. All right. So what do you think of that? What do you think of that? We have a new product from the NFL coming out today. NFL Plus. So pretty interesting stuff coming out of the NFL. And of course, you could do opponent scouting. You don't have to look at the Jets. We could we could go look at the 49ers and look for, look at that stuff and all that kind of thing. So it's very exciting, I think. So far, Restream has held up, I believe. I haven't gotten any warnings that I am aware of about the internet, so I think Restream is doing a better job of that. We can overlay our chat here. We really want to. We can turn on some music. Let's check this out. The weird thing is, I can't hear the music, so that's strange to me. I have to work on some design stuff. Otherwise, I think it's looking pretty, pretty good. I might have to upload a new background. Might be good. They have some defaults here. So, yeah, cool. And all that sort of thing. So that's good. All right. So I think that's pretty good as far as testing is concerned. I think that's pretty good. Let's see what this does. Q&A. Why doesn't it bring up? Well, I think that's going to do it for this evening. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on Sunday, 10 a.m. Coffee with Frankie.